Hello students, I, Ms. Pooja Palange, Assistant Professor IISM NCA, welcome you back to this video lecture on Big Data Analytics, where we'll be seeing again the basic concepts of Big Data, and we'll be analyzing a case study where we'll be using Big Data in healthcare applications. So this will be the case study today. Today we'll be studying, that is, we'll be using Big Data Analytics in healthcare industry. So let's see what are the things in this. Okay, so if you see nowadays, healthcare, you can say healthcare sector has become a very vital sector. Now, till now, whatever, if you have seen till now, whatever chapter we have seen, you must have understood there are some major drawbacks related to big data. So the first drawback is you need to see the storage. How can you store the data? Next thing is you have to search the data in a proper way. After storing the data, you need to have some sharing, because since that this data is going to be distributed, you need to share the data. After that, you need to share, either share or transfer, and after that you'll be analyzing that data. So you'll be using some platforms or some tools to analyze the data, and after analyzing the data, you'll have to produce some good, you can say, business related or business scenario based visualization, which will help you in driving out some results. Okay, so these are the basic concerns whenever you study big data. So now how can we map these things with the big data? So there are many domains, like you have telecom domain, you have IT domain, you have retail domain, as I told you previously. So we'll be seeing one case study that is related to healthcare. Now, how is this seen? Now, what will this big data help? First thing, it will help you to identify some patterns, and based on some patterns, it will help you for making some associations, and these associations will in turn give you some analysis. Now, you can see as an image which I've shown here, you can see these big data analytics is being divided into four steps. Okay, so one will be data collection, then you can see data filtering and all, then there will be data storage, then will be data processing, and finally there will be visualization. So as I told you, the five steps we need to analyze when we are doing the analyzing, that is basically storage, search, share and transfer, visualization, analytics, and then visualization. Okay, so if you see here, as I can show you here, you can see the patient behavior is there. Okay, just a minute, I'll just see if I can share, a pointer here. Okay. So, okay. So if you see here, you can see this is the patient behavior data present here, and this is the research and R&D data. Means this patient behavior data will be any data which is coming through the social network platform. It could be from the patient records. Okay. It could be any type of clinical data. Okay. Or it could be mobile or sensor data, because now since this is big data, it will be relevant to all aspects. Then the second part will be the R&D data. Okay, so the R&D data will be which type of data? The genomic data, the DNA based data, or the clinical trials or the clinical experiments which are being conducted. Okay, and just excuse me, and the third part will be the clinical data. So this clinical data will be nothing but the unstructured data. Okay, so this unstructured data will be, it could be clinical notes, it could be medical images, it could be text files, it could be voices. So, basically, if you see, big data is normally using Hadoop file system, which we'll be studying in our later chapters. Now, why Hadoop? Because Hadoop will have the capability of processing unstructured, well as semi-structured data. Now, what was the drawback with RDBMS is that RDBMS can only process the data which is related to structure. Now, this part we'll be covering when we'll be studying more about Hadoop. Okay, so currently, you just remember that data in case of healthcare system is coming from multiple scenarios. Okay, it is coming from the social network, mobiles. It is coming from the research team, and it is also coming from the clinical data sources. Now, what you have to do is after this, you need to have the storage of this data. So basically, the storage of the data is one by two main components. That is the Hadoop distributed file system and the NoSQL database. So if you see a Hadoop distributed file system will use map reduce pattern. So if I'll just be explaining you the brief idea, because this Hadoop file system, NoSQL and map reduce we have been going to cover in a further chapters. So just to give you an overview, this data storage will be done into Hadoop distributed file system. Since it is a distributed file system, the data will be stored across multiple nodes and multiple servers. As you know, a basic concept of distributed file system. After that, there will be a map reduce algorithm which will help to map the data. It will have some filtering information being done based on the patterns and the associations, and the data will get reduced into a proper format. After this filtering is being done, maybe the patient records, the association between the diagnostic information, whatever the genomic sequence or whatever the medical reports and the clinical prescriptions. So these all will be mapped together. They will be reduced into a proper format, and then they will be sent to the data warehouse where the decisions will be made for some business goals, or some decision regarding the patients will be done. And finally, this warehouse will give the data to the visualization team. So this is a basic procedure. Now how this will work, we'll see here. See, so this will be basically divided into three steps. There will be capturing of data, then there will be the transformation of data, and then there will be the consumption of data. Okay, and these all is being managed by the data governance layer. Okay, so these all will be governed by the data governance layer. So quickly we'll see what happens in the capture. In capture process, we have the data layer. In this data layer, the data will be coming from multiple sources. It could be some data sources like patient records, it could be mobile apps, it could be social media, it could be clinical results, it could be R&D data, or it could be home care sensors which are present at the patient side itself. Okay, so this will be having three types of data. Basically, it will be structured data, it could be semi-structured data, or it could be unstructured data. So this data layer will have the data coming from multiple sources with some format types, and then this data will be supplied to the transformation layer. Now this transformation layer is having the data aggregation layer. So what is data aggregation layer? First, it will do the acquisition of data. Acquisition of data will be done in a proper format. That is the veracity concept which you have seen. There will be a clean and clean data which is being used in some legacy format, which is being described for a particular healthcare record. After that, in transformation engines, there will be using of AI and machine learning algorithms. So it could be mining the data, it could be cleaning the data. Okay, so managing the data, classifying the data, clustering the data. These are more advanced concepts of the you can say AI and machine learning. So this also you'll be studying in your another this you've already studied in your subject of data warehousing or the advanced database concepts. So these algorithms will be applied in the transformation part. And after this whenever this transformation is going on, the data would be taken from the NoSQL databases. It could be taken from a database management system. It could be taken from a Hadoop distributed file system or a Hadoop cloud. So there will be a bidirectional flow of information between this data and transformation. So a basic ETL operation, which I've already studied in the advanced database, that is extract, transformation and loading of data will be done at this side. Okay, so this comes into the data aggregation layer. Then comes the analytics layer. Now how will be the analytics done in case of big data? As I told you, Hadoop forms an important component of big data. So Hadoop will be dividing the tasks into subtasks, where the mapping of tasks will be done, then the processing will be done, and the patterns will be reduced. So this basically comes under map reduce, which will be studying in your chapter number 6 and 5 and 6. Okay, so this is the just for information. Remember that the analytics data will be done using Hadoop file system. Hadoop is a distributed file system which will be using a map reduce algorithm, where the tasks will be divided into subtasks. They will be processed and again they will be reduced. So this can be incorporated with stream computing and in database analytics. So after this transformation part is being done, then comes to the visualization part and the analytics part. So in this case, there will be visualization reporting, where you can visualize the records of the patients. Whatever the irrelevant records were there, they've been already being deleted in case of the data aggregation layer. Whatever was needed is being stuffed out. No any redundant data, noisy, or any type of data is not taken into consideration. So this will help you in real-time monitoring, giving you the real-time statistics of the healthcare dashboards. And finally, this will help you in some support system, decision support. That will be your clinical decision support. Now, these all three layers are being monitored by the data governance layer, where you will be checking whether the data is correct, is it complete, whether it is accurate, whether it is available, then whether the data cycle life cycle management, whether the data is being archived properly, the maintenance is properly done in the data warehouse, whether there is testing of these applications, and wherever the data is not necessary, whether it is deleted or not. And also the last important thing, that is the data security and privacy management, where you need to see whether the sensitive data is kept correctly, the vulnerability and the configuration assessment is being checked, whether the security policies are being defined or not, whether the auditing and the monitoring of this data is being done or not, compliances are being reported or not, and access management, identity management is taken into consideration or not. And finally, this all will result into the protection of the data. So basically, this scenario explains you how big data health analytics is used in healthcare sector. Same process can be used in telecom industry, in the retail industry, in the manufacturing industry. Only the thing is this data layer part differs according to the database or what type of scenario you are using. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the how big data analytics is used in the healthcare industry. Okay, so this brings up to the end of our chapter, that is chapter number 1, in which we have seen what are the basic concepts of big data, then what are the characteristics of big data, then how big data is being used in enterprise information management, and finally, we have seen a case study of big data analytics in healthcare industry. So I hope you have understood this video, and I thank you for watching this.